And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. A live stream for you today discussing some huge Oscar Cortes to Rangers news, whilst also going through Rangers announcing the departures of 5 players. Yes, 5 players have officially left the football club. Ladies and gentlemen, this rebuild is very much underway. Let's start, of course, with the breaking news from Rangers Football Club. Yes, Rangers Football Club can today confirm the departures of Borna Barisic, Ryan Jack, John Lundstrom, John McLaughlin and Kemar Roof following the expiry of their contracts. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The players that are coming to the end of their contracts are not going to be getting a new deal. Of course, we've kind of already known about Borna Barisic and John Lundstrom in the lead up to the end of the season. I did state to you that they both had signed pre-contracts with Trabzonspor. That will probably and likely be announced in due course. Ryan Jack, of course, again, it seems over the last week that potentially he could have got a new deal. However, of course, right decision there for Jacko that he's not going to be staying. And then, of course, John McLaughlin is going as well and Kemar Roof is going. So they have been officially announced this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Do let me know your thoughts on those departures. As stated down there in the comment section below, let me know what you think of Borna Barisic leaving. Let me know what you think of Ryan Jack leaving. Let me know your thoughts on John Lundstrom leaving. Let me know your thoughts on John McLaughlin leaving. And then also let me know your thoughts on Kemar Roof leaving. Just going to give you my little tribute, if you like, for those players before we move on to some Oscar Cortes news and move into some more positive stuff with regards to incomings. Guys, if you haven't already hit the like button, then please do hit the subscribe button. We are well on our way to 30,000 subscribers on this channel. Right, so of course, Borna Barisic, let's start with him. I think Borna Barisic really has stayed probably a year or two, a bit long past the sort of sell-by, but certainly a player that when he first came in, I thought was absolutely fantastic under that sort of Gerrard era. My time when I sort of finished with Borna was probably that one where a lot of you guys may share the same one, that Celtic at Celtic Park, where I think we got pumped in the first half. The night game always stands out, which will actually seen them overtake us in the league title. I thought Borna was a disgrace in that game, and probably at the end of that season is when we probably should have actually looked to have moved him on. I think two years of Borna Barisic's 2 more years following that of Borna Barisic has actually been a lot too long. But to be fair, that first period under Gerrard, I thought it was a fantastic signing, a fantastic coup, and was really good at left back. And of course leaves as a league winner, a Scottish Cup winner, and of course a League Cup winner. Now moving on to Ryan Jack. Now Jacko is actually probably one of my favourite players in the modern era for Rangers. I do love Ryan Jack. But for me, whilst I don't doubt his quality, for me it's always been about him staying fit. Can he stay fit? And the answer is always no. He can never stay fit for a full season. And I do think usually he could probably offer us a lot on the pitch going into probably seasons going forward. But again, you just can't get a full season out of him. He's always out for about 5 or 6 months, and it's just not financially feasible for Rangers, especially with him getting older. So out of the ones that are departing, probably more sadder about Ryan Jack. But it is what it is. We got to move on from that, and we can't be giving players like him a contract when he's super injured. Now moving on to John Lundstrom. Now it's been a bit of a love-hate relationship for me with John Lundstrom. I never really took to him like a lot of the Rangers supporters did with regards to him. I thought, yes, in the Europa League he was very good back in 2022, and I think he was okay this season, to be fair. I think he was getting a lot more plaudits, a bit too much plaudits for this season. I never really rated him that much, and certainly over the last 2 months his head's gone. He's actually been a disgrace and actually has left a really bad taste in my mouth when it comes to John Lundstrom. John McLaughlin, again, another player that I've always championed. I remember going into Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's first full season after we got to the Europa League, people were crying out for this guy to be the number 1 goalkeeper. That went Pete Tong because he was absolutely howling. Never been a Rangers goalkeeper, but again, wish him all the best going forward. But yeah, we need a better strength in goalkeeping. Now, Kemar Roof, I do think is probably the best striker in the Scottish Premiership. I genuinely do. I think he's the best Scottish Premiership striker. But again, a bit like Ryan Jack, constantly and always is injured. And yeah, that's always been a problem. It's always been, how can he stay fit? He's never stayed fit. He's always come back for about 2 or 3 games. Sometimes scored some big goals for us, but Yeah, absolutely. I think he's on a massive amounts of wages. And yeah, the right decision for all of those to actually be going out of the door. But they all leave as, barring John Lundstrom, they all leave as league winners. All of them also leave as Scottish Cup winners, and all of them also leave as League Cup winners. So, yeah, big thank you to everyone, all of those players that have supported this football club. But it's definitely the right move that they don't get contract renewals and we move on to this new era as a football club. Now, moving on to more positive stuff, guys, with regards to the transfer window. We already know it's going to be a very, very busy window for us. And we've got an update from Inside Rangers sources with regards to Oscar Cortes. Now, Oscar Cortes is a player for me that I have been championing and campaigning that I want to see him at Rangers going into the next season. And basically reports are stating that Rangers are in negotiations over a deal for Oscar Cortes. However, there is potentially a bit of a stumbling block. Rangers do want a permanent transfer and are in negotiations to do so, but Lens want around £4 million for his services. At this moment in time, it does seem as though Rangers are obviously wanting to negotiate their best possible price, and rightfully so. I don't want to be paying £4 million for a player that, yes, started very, 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 very well, and I do see he has a lot of potential, but my goodness me, been injured for the majority of his loan spell, and usually that's our luck, buying a player for £4 million and we'll never see him again because he'll be constantly injured. But as I stated, at this moment in time, Rangers are in the position to pay £4 million for the player, and he wants to stay at the football club as well. But as stated, Rangers do want the best deal possible, and of course don't really want to match the £4 million at this moment in time. But negotiations are ongoing. Rangers and the player want to make it happen, but Lens have a stumbling block at this moment in time, and that is that they want to recoup as much money as they possibly can, which is around £4 million, which again, I wouldn't have a problem with paying £4 million for Oscar Cortes. It's just at this moment in time, he didn't really get to show too much whilst on loan because he was injured for the majority of it. So that's something that we need to watch upon. But guys, let me know your thoughts down in the live chat or in the comment section below if you're watching this on a replay with regards to Oscar Cortes. Is he a player that you would like the Rangers to splash the cash on? How much is he worth to you? As stated, let me know down there in the comments. Obviously, this season he's only played 400 minutes, but returned with 2 goals and 2 assists. But I would probably try and negotiate with Rangers in terms of, can we loan to buy again? I try and get another loan deal, but with the obligation to buy come the end of the season, barring he meets a certain criteria of games. I think that's the most making sense to do a deal, because I don't mind paying, well, I'm saying that as if it's coming out of my pocket, but I don't mind the club paying £4 million for him, but I couldn't justify paying £4 million just off the basis of him playing 400 minutes for us on loan. So I think the most sensible decision that we could make as a football club, and probably what we're trying to do, is go to Lens, look, loan for another year, and we'll buy him. We'll pay £4 million come the end of the season. If he meets a certain criteria of matches played, then we can discuss it further, because then we can protect ourselves financially and not get burnt, and then also get a really, really good player in the same time. But Rangers fans, that's all I've really got for you today, guys. Do let me know your thoughts on the whole situation in regards to the 5 players that have left the football club, whether we made a mistake on any of them, and also let me know your thoughts on Oscar Cortes. Guys, that brings us to the end of today's live stream. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily